2818, wind 3307 knots, KNH 1009, runway 27, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 272818, thank you. Alright, so heels on the ground, no brakes. I'm keeping my crosswind correction. Winds are coming from the right. Okay, temperature is in a good 2370 on the RPM. Airspeed is alive. Taking out my crosswind correction, just keeping it a little bit. There's the... Okay. Alright, so as you can see, I'm crabbing to the right, because that's where the wind, oh, that's a nice updraft right there. Staying on the center line here.
Great 18, left turn out, report 10 miles.
Left turn out, report 10 miles, 2818, have a good day. Watching my airspeed, whoops, alright, so the wind is, the wind wants to kick me. 300 feet, flaps up.
Philippine 1782 cleared Manila via the Boy 1 Echo, Whiskey 281, Leggett, November 884, Lubang, Manila. Climb 200, squawk 4271.
So I'm turning left right now, but I'm crabbing because that wind is just kicking me on the left. And it's gusting as well. Alright, so I'm gonna just pull my power back here. When I'm light, this bird flies. It climbs really nice.
2001
After takeoff checklist, flap is up, look outside verified. I'm turning off landing light, taxi light.
And Philippine 1782, fully ready.
Roger, push and start approve, advance ready for taxi.
Push and start approve, advance ready for taxi, Philippine 172.
After takeoff checklist complete. 46 minutes, I'll be home. So over the mountains might be bumpy, so I'm not gonna mess around with those hills right now. So what I'm gonna do is just stay on a south heading like 183 radial outbound, and then I'll turn on course when I'm 10 miles or so. Welcome aboard. Alright, so I'm getting 429 on my number 3 cylinder. I'm climbing out at 90 miles per hour, 80 indicated. So as I climb higher here, it should cool down naturally. Okay, now it's 430, so I'm gonna just pitch the nose down a little bit more, and I'm gonna climb at maybe like 95 and see if that cools my temperature quicker. You know, it's an old plane, and I try my best to treat it very nicely. I fly it very cautiously. It's not a brand new stuff fresh out of the manufacturer's factory. So, you know, we do pay attention to temperature control with this bird. So I pull my power to 2370 on the RPMs. Yesterday was just amazing flight, but it was a long day, and one more leg, which is like give or take an hour. It's gonna take a little less, but I would have to be rushing again, getting the airplane ready, flying again. I'm tired. It's been a long day, and I'm beat up. So to play it safe, I just said, you know what? I'm gonna wait it out. I told Irene I'm not flying home. Sorry, I want to be home, but safety first. So I canceled I didn't file a flight plan or anything. I just found a cheap hotel and stayed for the night because, you know, it's safety first. That's the name of the game. Safety first. You always want to be safe no matter what you're doing. So right now I'm not gonna follow the line, because if I follow the line on my GPS, it's gonna take me right into those mountains. So I'm gonna stay like shoreline, you know, on the coast here and climb up. So for those who are pilots, you always want to get rid of external pressure.
Good morning, go ahead.
you know, which is, oh, I really want to get home for Christmas or holiday or whatever the case may be. But what I'm learning is...
Roger, standby for clearance for runway 09, wind 3007 knots, QNH 1010, temperature 27.
What I'm learning is you don't have to get home. That's just a wrong mentality. You don't have to. You chose to. You want to. You desire to. But you don't have to. So you get rid of what you call get there-itis. It's that, oh, I gotta get home, want to get home, whatever. But no, you don't have to get home. Safety first. And when you're safe, then everything else will fall in place. Today I want to go up to 4,500 feet. That gives me enough altitude. If anything happens, I can glide to the coastline of the waters, because straight underneath me I don't have much options, unfortunately. So I would rather set it down in a shallow area of the coastline where, I can swim ashore. People might be out fishing or something, or people walking along the beach. They see an airplane go down. They can bring a cheap hand-rowed boat and come rescue me or something if I get trapped inside. So that's my route today. You can see that little haze layer. I'm going to be above that. And winds are calm right now back at base, so I'm going to do a straight-in approach for runway 16. See you guys on final approach as we cruise up, climb here to our cruise altitude. So for in-flight entertainment today, guys, I want to share with you my favorite Bible verse. Basically, it is Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And it says, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Lord and those who are called according to His purpose." So, I go through a lot of different challenges as a Christian. And that is my favorite Bible verse. It really gives me a lot of comfort to know that no matter what is happening in my experience, I can have the assurance that all things will work together for good. I've been through financial challenges with training, housing, missionary work itself, the life itself, relationships, like family, like so many different challenges. And it challenges me. It challenges my faith. It challenges my trust. It challenges my hope. My whole character is under scrutiny when I go through trials and tribulations, or whatever you want to call it. And so that Bible text is just a reminder to me that no matter what I have to go through as a Christian, I know at the end of the day, all things will work together for good. A lot of it, I don't know how it's going to work together for good. And some of it, to some degree, to a big degree, God has helped me to understand more about what He's doing in my life, what is His purpose, what is His will, and those things keep me humble. It keeps me on my knees. It keeps me constantly asking God for help to survive, in this life. There's a condition to the text, and the two conditions are: all things work together for good only for those who love God and are called according to His purpose. Many Christians love God. I think every Christian loves the Lord. But there's a lot of Christians who are not living in God's purpose. Some Christians, they shy away from God's purpose because usually God's purpose for their life, it challenges their comfort zone. It takes them out of their comforts, and it puts them in a place where it's really difficult for them to be able to trust God. So basically, if we love God and we're called according to His purpose, then no matter what we go through, we can have the assurance that all things will work together for good. Let me make a radio call here in a few seconds. So basically, that's in flight. We look at the life of Christ. We look at the patriarchs and the prophets. You know, they went through a lot of things. Joseph stands out to me the most. He looked at his brother after they sold him to Egyptian slavery. They wanted to kill him. They just abused him, and he was just really bullied by his siblings. But, you know, years went by and he got established out of Potiphar's pit, prison, Potiphar's house, slavery life, and all those. And he was able to look at all his experience, and he looked at his brother and he said, what you meant for evil, God meant for good. In other words, all things that you did to me, in the end, it worked together for good. Because I love God and I was living a life according to his purpose. Traffic advisor, RPC 281A Charlie 172, departed Puerto, currently over in Nara, maintaining 4,500, direct Brooks Point, Barong. Any traffic en route, please advise. So basically, you know, imagine you went through all of that. Your brothers are now kneeling before you as he had dreamt, and they thought he would have been angry and bitter and just raging at them. But he said, no, what you meant for evil, God meant for good. In other words, all things did work together for good. So I don't need to be bitter with you, my siblings, because God was behind all this all the time. It might not have looked good on the outside or to other people, but Joseph tapped into the spiritual realm and he understood Romans 8 verse 28. I look at the life of Christ, which stands out most beautiful to me. He was abused, he was whipped. The Bible says, by his stripes we were healed. So those stripes work together for good. He was put on a cross, and that's why we have redemption. He left, and it's because he left to prepare a place for us. And he said, if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. So I just want to encourage you today, no matter what's happening in your experience, if you love God and you are living according to his purpose, you can have the assurance that all things will work together for good. I'll be honest with you, as a human being and as a Christian, it's easier for me to deal with trials when I understand why. Like Job. If Job knew why and how the end will justify the means, after headache he went through and just the spiritual agony, so to speak, he would not have gone through that, because I know how the end is going to come out. But that's how God works. He puts the blindfold on. He puts you through things. And at the end of the day, it's solely about trust and hope and faith. You combine those things, you claim this promise that all things will work together for good, then no doubt you'll see God's leading. So that's what I wanted to share with you in our in-flight entertainment. My favorite Bible verse as a missionary, medical missionary, pilot here in the Philippines is Romans chapter 8, verse 28. No matter what I'm going through, I always have the assurance that because I love God and I'm called according to his purposes, all things do work together for good. God bless you, and I hope this can become one of your promise texts as well. Leave a comment below. Let me know, what is your favorite Bible text? How do you deal with hardships and trials as a Christian? Ladies and gentlemen, we have started our descent into Brooks Point, that's Palmas, Palawan, and weather at our airbase right now is good, visibility is good, and we are 11 minutes away from our arrival. I'm just pulling back my power here. I'm getting at least 109 knots over the ground. I got a strong tailwind just blowing me. So for my descent today, I'm gonna keep my power at 2200 RPMs, and I should be pitching down at 300 feet per minute for descent. Before descent checklist, barometric pressure is set. We have gotten weather information at our destination. I have enough fuel, worst case, and I have enough fuel to go back to my departure point or my alternate close to the base. Our fuel selector valve is on both. We're gonna basically enrich in our mixture as we get down. I'm gonna turn on my strobe light so other aircraft can see me. I have my ignition on both. Master is on, avionics is on, and my primer is in and locked, and we'll use flaps as required. Right now my oil pressure is in the green, my oil temp is in the green, and my alternator is functioning beautifully. So we ask that you fasten your seatbelt. On behalf of Philippines Adventist Medical Aviation Services, it was a privilege and a blessing to fly along with you today as we head back to base after yesterday's long haul of 2 patients and family members getting back home in time for the holidays. We thank you for your support, and we'll see you on the final approach. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, subscribers and all, we are now on our final descent, and we just ask that you remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened and just enjoy this view. So now I'm 6 miles out, and my profile said I should be descending at 300 feet per minute. Because what I want to do is I want to be, when I'm 3 miles from the base, I want to be at 1,000 feet, and I want to put in 20 degrees of flaps. So before landing checklist, fuel selector valve is on both, mixture is rich, our lights are on, we're on both for ignition, master is on, avionics on, my primer is in and locked, transponder is on, my oil pressure, oil temp is still in the green, I have plenty of fuel on board, alternator is working. Before landing checklist, seatbelt securely fastened, before landing checklist complete. So now I'm 4 nautical miles away, 2 minutes. I'm not going to text anyone, I already texted them, so now I'm just going to focus on flying the airplane. That's my focus now, fly the airplane. So I'm looking outside, I see the smoke, so wind look relatively calm, they're coming straight up into the air, and I just want to hug this mountain a little bit, and that will keep me on a nice left base and then turn final for runway 16. Alright, so we're 3.9 nautical miles. Alright, I'm gonna just maintain my altitude now at 1,000 feet. Pull in my power to 2,000 RPM, trimming the nose so it can slow down. So by the time I reach 3 nautical miles, I'll be in the wide arch to put my first notch of flaps. Okay, I have the hangar in sight on my left. You guys are not going to be able to see it, but I have runway in sight. Okay, there's my 3 nautical miles. I'm in the wide arch, and I'm going to pull first notch of flaps. Okay, at this point, I want to keep my RPM at 1900, and I'm just going to start a little descent here at 300 feet per minute should keep me on profile. Okay, so following my line. Alright, let's do 1800 RPM so we get a nice descent. Not fighting the airplane. I still have visual on the runway. I'm descending. Now there's a little illusion based on these trees to have a tendency to come in real high on the approach because I can see the trees beneath me, and then at 2 miles I want to have my second notch of flaps. Alright, so power is at 1700. There. 2 miles. Add in my second notch of flaps, and I'm gonna keep it that way for now. I won't do full flaps just in case the wind decides to get ugly. Alright, I still have the runway in sight. Now established on a base. Okay, that's 80 miles an hour. So I'm watching my airspeed. I keep my descent profile. One final check. Fuel selector valve both. Mixture is rich. Lights are on. Both. Mags on both. Okay. I have visual on the runway. I'm not gonna turn yet. I'm gonna wait. Alright, so I'm still descending. Alright, so I'm gonna be on a nice 1.5. There's the runway. Alright, so I'm making a turn now. And we're gonna keep this profile here. I'm just gonna be here for now while descending. Alright, so I'm at 80 knots right now. Indicated airspeed. Winds are calm. I don't anticipate any wind blowing me and messing with me. I'm at 500 feet per minute. I'm at 1600 RPM. And then gradually I'm gonna just bleed off with extra speed. So I'm powering for altitude and I'm pitching for airspeed. Alright, so I'm at 80 right now, and then I'm gonna come in and just line up with that runway. I'm gonna go sterile and talk to you guys on the landing. Yeah, welcome to base. I wanted a smooth landing, so there was no rush. And there's the wife coming out to greet me. So if you like these videos, give a thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, share this content with family and friends and those who you think that can benefit from this information. God bless, and see you guys on the next flight.